Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Seiko SNKM97, which is the latest Member's Choice watch. So if you're seeing this video and you're not a member, that means it's been over a week since I published it. Let's start out the wrist check. I'm wearing this Luminix Giant Sea Turtle 0320 with the tritium tubes. And Grego's wearing my Citizen Donald Duck watch. Grego says Jar Jar Binks is forming his own Jedi Academy. He's looking for students who are strong in the dork side of the Force. Alright, let's get this watch open. Comes in a box that says Seiko. I haven't had a ton of Seikos, but usually the box is just cardboard, nothing fancy. And here is the watch. Let me give it a little shake. Make sure it's wound good, because this is not a hand winding watch. It only winds with the rotor. But here it is. Nice looking watch. And you members must have thought it was a nice looking watch because you voted on it. Another Seiko on my channel. I haven't reviewed a lot of Seikos on my channel despite liking the brand due to budget concerns. Plus the overall familiarity of the brand makes reviews less necessary. This is the latest Member's Choice watch and was voted on by paid members from a selection of similarly priced watches from Joma Shop. I paid $150 for this watch. Unfortunately, it is no longer available from Joma Shop. It retails for $250 if you buy it directly from Seiko, but you can find it much more affordable elsewhere. I will leave a few links, and none of them are affiliates. This watch has been around for a while, as it has the 7S26 movement, which was the movement featured in the now discontinued SKX007. I am not sure if Seiko still manufactures this watch, and I wonder if it will be available after the current inventory runs out. It would be nice if they upgraded it to the 4R36 movement. This watch only comes in the green colorway. However, if you do like the case shape, there is the SNKM97, which has the same case and movement, but the dial is blue and has a different layout. It also comes on a leather strap instead of the bracelet. The watch is 44.4 millimeters wide, and it's 50 millimeters lug to lug and has inverted end links. It's 11.9 millimeters thick, has a 24 millimeter lug width, which tapers down to 20 at the clasp, and weighs 169 grams on the supply steel bracelet with 2 links removed, so it is fairly heavy. Then there really is no bezel, it's all just part of the case. And then we have the dial. We have a nice sunburst effect, really deep emerald color, like that. Then we have a re-hot chapter ring with minute markers and minute counters. And then we have the indices, and as you can see, they're applied, and they have this, I don't know what you even call this type, but there is no loom on them. And then we have the skeleton hands, and we have an orange running second hand. Then we have the Seiko logo up top, says automatic on the bottom, no mention of water resistance. You get your 50 meters and that's it. Then we have a date window, and it looks like the date is on the other language. So let me move it to there. Now it says Tuesday. And then we have a unsigned push-pull crown, and the movement does not hack. Then we have the crystal. Crystal's flat, and it's hardlex. You don't get sapphire in a Seiko usually unless you spend quite a bit of money. So hardlex is fine. People say that hardlex scratch is easy, but I've never scratched any of my hardlex watches. Of course, I don't wear them a lot either. And then we have the case. The case is kind of squarish, even though there's a round cutout for the dial. So, and the case is fully brushed. There's no little polished chamfered edges or anything. But I do like the case. It's one of the things that's appealing to this watch. Then we have the case back. It's a screw down display case back. and nothing fancy about it. And of course, if the crystal's hardlex, the case back's going to be hardlex too. Underneath the case back is the 7S26 movement. This is a 21 jewel movement, and it does not hand wind. It does not hack, but it does have a bidirectional rotor. So when you go to wind it by shaking it, it does a pretty good job of winding it. And I don't even know if Seiko makes this movement anymore. And I don't know if once the current inventory of watches that use the movement are done, if they're going to start using it anymore or not. It would be nice if they would upgrade this watch and put a 4R36 in it, which is a hand winding hacking movement. But I've never had one of these before, so let's go ahead and put it on the timegrapher and see how it's doing. I'll give it a good shake first. Here it is on the timegrapher, and it doesn't look like it's running very good. It's running fast, plus 13 seconds. That is within specs. But if you look at the other values, the amplitude is at 201. I have the lift angle set to 53 degrees, which is proper for a 7S26. But look at that amplitude, it's really low. And then we got a whole 1 millisecond of beat error. That's why you see 2 lines on the screen. So that's not very good either. So this movement is not running good. And it doesn't matter since this is a non-hacking movement, fast versus slow. Either way, you're going to have to move the hands. The bracelet is a 3-link kind of oyster style. And we do have hollow end links, but they are inverted. The nice thing about hollow end links, though, they are easier to take on and off than solid. So if you do want to put it on a strap and then put it back on the bracelet, it is a bit easier with hollow end links. And as you can see, the center is polished, the outer is not. And we have push pins, and you can even see the little arrows telling you which way to push them out. That's kind of nice because sometimes Seiko will give you a pin and collar system instead, and those aren't near as easy to use as push pins. Then we have the clasp. The clasp is pretty meager. It's stamped. Both inner and outer, and it's short, so that means you only get 2 holes to micro adjust. And these are pretty big links, so you need more than 2 holes to get the perfect fit. This is a 170 gram watch, so you do want a good fit. Here's the watch and my 7.5 inch wrist. That looks nice. That wears nice. It's a really nice looking watch. I removed 2 links and then moved it in 1 notch of micro adjust. So that's about a 3/4 of inch. I moved it in. So about 8 1/4 is the best you're going to do without needing more links or putting it on a strap. Of course, you could always get an aftermarket clasp, which might make it, that was a bit longer. We will not be taking a trip into the loom room because this watch has no loom. What do I like about this watch? Well, it's a great looking watch. I like this emerald green dial. I like this Recraft chapter ring. I like the fact that it has inverted end links, and I like the shape of this case. It's just kind of unique and fun. What are my gripes and groans? It has a 7S26 movement. That means no hand winding, no hacking, and the one they sent me isn't doing very well on the timegrapher. It has a short clasp with only 2 holes to micro adjust, and there's no loom on this watch. I'd rather have loom on the hands than the skeleton hands. Do I recommend this watch? Yes. Despite a few big flaws, we buy watches like this because of how they look, and this one looks fantastic. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Seiko SNKM97, and I'll be back with another review or unboxing. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. And if you're not a member, be sure to sign up for my Members Choice, and you'll be able to see reviews of watches like this one ahead of everybody, and you'll get to vote on the next Members Choice watch. Bye.